All right, so let's look at getting the timeline set up, importing audio, adding markers, all that sort of thing. So the first thing we need is some audio. And for this project, I would like for you to use one of the loops provided to you. I'm going to use for this demo 19, and this is found in our class Google Drive. All right. So I already had it in there. Okay, so then there's two ways we can set up our comp. The first is to grab your audio clip and drag it over here. And what that's going to do is that is going to create a new comp at the duration of whatever you drag in there. So like if you ever want to like make something that's based on the length of something else, you can just drag it right in there and set it up. Another way to do it is just to start from scratch. So we'll say new comp. We want HTTP 24, 1920, 1080, 24, and then the duration we want set to 10. So if it's set to something else, just type in 10, semicolon, okay. All right, so you know what? We'll just go from totally from scratch. Here, I'll make a square. All right, so we got our audio and a shape. All right, so if I hit play, you'll hear the audio, but it can be really helpful to see the audio. So you can look at the waveform in After Effects, and to do that you hit LL, and you can see the shape. And what's nice about this is it kind of shows you where the hits are. Or if you tap something out, it helps you dial in what you were sensing to a specific moment in time. So for this little demo, let's just do the first 3 seconds or so of this bigger piece. And so to what I just did there, I just hit N, and so that just kind of focuses on this bit, and I can also just kind of zoom in right on this spot. All right, so what I want to do is just set some markers. And to do that, I hold down on my Apple laptop. On different devices, there's different hotkeys, but on my Apple laptop, I hold down Control and 8. It's also the star key on a number pad. It's also, this comp is called 19. That's not very helpful. So I'm going to hit Command K and just call this A. Version 00. All right, so here we go. All right, so my rhythm is not the greatest. So what I can do now is zoom in a little bit and tighten this up right to the waveform itself. Right. And I'm just, oh, okay, I screwed up. Okay, so I set the markers to the comp, and that's helpful. So if I drag this, if I want to sync it to a comp higher up, in the food chain. We'll look at that later. But for now, actually, let's instead set the markers on the layer. So if nothing's selected, it's going to put it right on the main timeline. And if something's selected, it'll put it on that layer. So let me try this again. And maybe I could do a little better this time around. Yeah, a little better. So I'm just move this over here. Missed one over here. Selecting that. Control 8. This one's a little late. And now once again, I can zoom out and just kind of focus on the zone. So let's see what we got. I think this is going to work. All right. All right, this square is kind of gigantic. So let's, I'm going to make it a new. Maybe it's just 2 units. All right, so now I got my new square. What I want to do is on the markers, which I can jump to with J and K, I want to have like an accent, a pop. So for this one, I'll use the scale parameter. So let's hit 200%. All right. And then I'm going to introduce a new hotkey. If you hold down Command and do the side arrows, you can jump forwards and backward in time. If you hit Alt, you can move the keyframes forwards and backwards in time. So I'm going 2 frames forward, and I'm going to set it to 100. And then I'm going to go 3 frames in the future. 1, 2, 3. And I could set it to 100, or I could also copy this keyframe and paste it. So let's just see what we got. All right, so it's synced, but it's a little, I don't know, a little mechanical. So what I want to do to accentuate this a bit is I'm going to ease the ins and outs so that it's going to go kind of accelerate, pop, hit, and then come down. So let's just see how that works. Yeah, it's not too bad. Maybe it's like a little too small. What happens if I make this 150? How's that look? All right, that's not too bad. All right, so what I can do now that I have this set up is I can use it. I can copy and paste and put it in a different spot, right? So let's see, we got, and yeah, there's like 2 kind of things that are going on here. There's like the bass drum thing, and then there's the claps. I think I'm just gonna focus on the drum. This one again. Paste it over here. So when I pasted it, it pasted it to the where my marker is, but I want to move it so that it hits right on the beat. And then what I could do to give it a little more interest is just like kind of fade this out a little bit. too much. Cool. All right. And, just like before, any attribute can be synchronized. So if I turn the grid off for a second, I could just play this, and we can see all the different attributes. All right.